All right, guys, welcome back. So glad to have you here. And today we're doing something kind of special since it's every YouTuber's dream to hold their 28th subscriber special. So that's what we're doing today. And today we're going to be talking about Star Wars. Everyone loves Star Wars. It's the best. It was great. You've got Han, Luke, and Leia, and then you've got the prequels, and the prequels are even better. Wow. Unpopular opinion, isn't it? I especially like the prequels because those are the ones I grew up watching. I mean, because I'm not 40 years old. I love the original trilogy and everything, but I mean, the prequels have their moments. They're pretty good. Better than the sequels anyway. And today, the you can't deny that the best part of the prequels is easily Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this video is very fortunately timed because Disney just confirmed that they're going to be doing a new TV series with Ewan McGregor based around Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm like, mm, ah, yes, ooh, it's like a dream come true for me, basically. I mean, you look at the cast of the Attack of the Clones, and it's not hard to find the most attractive one in there. I mean, it's him. E- anyway, so I'll stop rambling and we'll just get on to the actual drawing part. I should put a disclaimer in because this is a 30 or no, what are we at? 28? 28 subscriber special. The video is significantly longer because we did it. I did it in colored pencil, and when I was done, I had something about around 6 hours of combined footage. So it's a little long. So buckle up, get ready for it. Here it comes. Uh, and let's get into the drawing. Let's get into the good stuff. So I'll just cut right to the chase. I'm not going to show you how I drew this because the drawing itself took forever, and if I'd recorded all of the drawing, there would be even more than 6 hours worth of footage. And you know what? It took me just about as long to edit all of it. So the 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 drawing's already done, and you just get to see the colored pencil technique, which is the cool part. The part you wanted to see anyway, right? Right? I don't know. All right, so we're starting with the face. Oh, his beautiful face. And faces are hard when you're using the entire 8 by 11 sheet of paper, but they're even harder when they're only like 1 inch tall. And so this one was a little tough. This was a little toughy. And you gotta try to be very delicate with your shading. And uh, my lighting is kind of off, was kind of off for a while, so the shadow of my hand's gonna get in the way a little bit, but you can kind of see what's going on here. We haven't quite got the eyes yet, but we'll get there. The light source is coming from the right side, so most of the left side will be in shadow, and you just kind of uh, you just kind of layer colors on top of each other. That's one of the nice qualities of colored pencils is you can put up to you can layer a lot of colors on top of each other to create different shades, different colors that you need to do whatever you're doing. And the the technique I'm using is you'll see me every once in a while go over a spot that has a lot of color on it, and I'll wash it out with white. That technique is called burnishing, and when you do that, you're essentially adding the final layer of colored pencil to the drawing. Like the drawing can't hold any more colored pencil in that one area anymore. And cool. Now we're going to draw the beard. We're mixing in little bits of brown, a little bit of yellow. His beard's pretty blonde, and so you just want to. it's not one solid color. So we're mixing in yellow, we're mixing in brown, we're mixing in, just a little bit of red too. And we're drawing Attack the Clones Obi-Wan because I really liked his hair in that one. Um, Even though Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan is my favorite. He's, Revenge of the Sith just got the most iconic lines
Hello
ever.
there.
It's probably one of the best movies ever made. Thank you, George Lucas, for everything you've done for this country and this planet. Um, so we're just gonna we're not burnishing the beard. We're leaving a lot of the pencil strokes open, and we're gonna do the same thing on the hair. So it's not gonna be one solid color. We want different colors to kind of show through, and you'll kind of see that happen. Also, what I'm doing right now is I've identified the dark spots in his hair, and we're gonna color those in first because something I notice a lot of artists do is they draw the hair and they make it really stringy. And obviously his hair isn't super long. It's not like a woman's hair, but they 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 make it look really stringy, and hair doesn't look like that. Hair, while it, is not one solid color, has some shadows. So there are some solid pieces to the hair, and you don't want to make it just just like little strands of that. Makes it look really childish. So, I mean, you can see right there. Uh, we're not the You can see a few individual strands, but I mean it's mostly in shadow. And so that's the kind of look you want to go for. Ah, his hair was so good. The long hair, the Jesus hair. Oh, I loved it. Attack of the Clones. What a good movie. I mean, really, people rag on Attack of the Clones for the I don't like sand scene, but uh, I mean it's a pretty good movie. I mean, I I don't want to rank the prequels because I'm not brave enough to try and it's like trying to pick a favorite child. So I mean, Attack of the Clones is good. I mean, it has a lot of really cool scenes in it. I think a lot of people just gloss over the the asteroid field chase scene between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett, and with the bombs that go boing, and I'm like, they only focus on the negative when it comes to the prequels, I feel like, but I feel like the sequels have done so poorly that people are starting to look at the prequels like, mm, yeah, that looks pretty good, comparatively. A lot better than the Last Jedi anime. Anyways, what a disaster of a story and a movie that was. Eesh. I don't know. I don't like I don't like to rag on Star Wars. I have liked some of the new Star Wars movies that have come out. I did like The Force Awakens, even though it was like just a rehash of A New Hope, basically. I didn't care. I was like, dude, who cares? It's Star Wars. And I think the whole point of The Force Awakens was to set up a story and to set up characters and stuff like that. And it did a good job. And there was mystery. There was all of the fans were really excited for the next installment because they were like, "Oh, who's Snoke? Is Ren a good guy or a bad guy? Who are Rey's parents? What's Luke been doing on that island all this time?" And then Ryan Johnson swooped in with The Last Jedi and just took a giant turd on all of our heads because he's like, I'm not going to answer any of this, and Rey's parents are nobody, and Snoke's just some dead guy now. And now J.J. Abrams on the last movie has to basically pick up the pieces of what is now a shattered and utterly destroyed movie and try and make it into something that can pass for, a good show. It's going to be tough, but that's why I'm excited for the Kenobi movie, or it's not a movie, the TV show, because with a TV show, there's a lot you can tell a lot more story in a TV show than you can in a movie. And like, I mean, look at the time jump between the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. I mean, Anakin goes from being like, "We did it, R2," to
I don't
I
like
don't like
sand.
sand, and there's you basically just have to. It's up to the imagination what happened, but there's like some story there. They talk about it, but you just kind of have to like imagine what's happening. And I think with a TV show, you can tell a lot more story, and plus the TV show is going to have Ewan McGregor. Also, that Mandalorian TV show looks dope. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but you should go look it up right now. You're already on YouTube, aren't you? Go look up the Mandalorian trailer. I don't care if you're a Star Wars fan or not. That looks like the dopest shiz I've ever seen. I'm super excited for that. Disney, you can take my money. I don't care that you're some corrupt monopoly that's taken over everything. Oh boy, I should talk about the drawing. Uh, now we're drawing the lightsaber. Now that we're done with the face, I decided with this drawing it would be best to get the two hardest parts out of the way first. And his hand doesn't look very good, but it's going to be overshadowed by the fact that there's a lightsaber right there. So the attention's going to be on the lightsaber, so I'm not super worried that his hand isn't super detailed. This hand, anyway. We're going to want more detail on the other hand. Um, but this one gave me some trouble. So I'm putting down these layers of blue, and then I'm going in with white, and I'm just trying to like make it look fuzzy, but it's not quite a dark enough blue, and I'm not quite I wasn't quite putting enough layers down, so it looks really pale as a lightsaber, and I wanted it to pop more, so I you know I think later in the video I add some more blue to it just to make it stand out a bit more, but yeah, it was tough. I've never drawn a lightsaber before. Uh, And yeah, these camera angles are bad because I'm all over the place, I'm turning the paper every which way. So I apologize. You can see what's going on though, right? Right? I mean, can they? I don't know. So we're not going to worry about that. And I think we're just about ready to start drawing some clothes. No, no, we're going to work on the hand a little bit more. Yeah, that hand was tough. I didn't like that hand. Kind of looks like an oven mitt, if I'm being honest. Whatever. I'd probably want to hold on to a lightsaber with an oven mitt anyways. That thing's probably like 1,000 degrees. Let's not get into the technicalities of Star Wars right now. So now we're just using the same kind of colors we were using on the face for the robes. It's kind of I'm not gonna show the colors on the screen because there were too many, and I'm using I don't have a new colored pencil set. Mine's kind of old, and I'm kind of got pencils from like 5 different colored pencil sets, so I don't know what's what. But that base color is kind of like a peach color, but we're just shading it on very lightly so it kind of appears tan because I didn't have like a sand color, and that's kind of the color that his robes are. So you just want to be careful not to go too heavy with it. We're not burnishing like we were on the face, but the spots that are light only have like a single very delicate layer of colored pencil on them, and that's really important. And you can see we just want to nail down the shadows, get them a little darker, and then, make sure there's some light space in between them as well. All right, now we can move on to the other section, I think. Man, what a dude. What a bro, Obi-Wan. Such a such a sexy man. I mean, he's honestly the best character ever. He's the best Jedi ever, too. I mean, if you think about it, this man's defeated Darth Maul when he was still a Padawan, and then he defeated General Grievous without his lightsaber. I mean, what a dude. And I know Darth Maul lived after that. You don't need to point that out to me. I already know that, obviously. But I mean, look at this man. I mean, he just emanates pure, like raw energy. He's pretty. He's just a fine dandy person. He's got good fashion sense too. I mean, we'll draw his boots later. You could tell he picked those out personally. You know, he probably went to the Star Wars equivalent of
Hello
like a
there.
Macy's or whatever and picked out some nice boots for himself. He wanted to treat himself. So there's some little folds in his robes here that we're drawing real quickly, and kind of keeping it low detail again, because the focus of the drawing is going to be on his face. Um, it's going to be on his face. It's going to be on the lightsaber, and it's going to be on his left hand, which is on the right side because he's facing us, and that's how right and left work. Um, and so the focus is going to be on the face, the one hand, and then on his boots because they're a different color and they're going to stand out. So you just want to not worry too much about certain areas like these uh, that are kind of low detail. Um, and I love colored pencil. Honestly, it's such an easy and creative medium, but it takes forever. I did a commission piece of artwork, um, and who knows, maybe I'll throw it up on the screen just for fun. And it took me something like, I want to say somewhere in the range of 25 to 30 hours to complete. And oh boy, I mean, this one took me 6, and I thought I was going fast. So that that says something about how I treat colored pencils. Plus, I did this on a full 8 by 11 sized sheet of paper, which is this is the biggest drawing I've done a recording of to date. So it it but there's just so much detail that you need to go bigger. And if I wanted his face to look better, like right now it looks like Obi-Wan, but I mean, it doesn't look great because there's just not enough room for detail. If I really wanted to draw a detailed Obi-Wan, I'd go on a sheet of paper that was like 24 by 24 inches, you know, something huge. I I had a I had a pad of big paper lying around somewhere. Um, I don't know. All my supplies is really scattered. I'm not a very organized person. You could probably tell that. Um, so we're just doing the same thing on the robes over here. His outstretched arm, the power, the pose. He's just got such a presence about him. Ooh, man, I'm good. Oh, I'm also really excited for the 7th season of the Clone Wars. Gosh, what an injustice they did to that TV show. Just ended it on like one of the biggest cliffhangers ever, and then they canceled it. And Netflix is like, "Oh, we're gonna revive it." And then they gave us like what 5 episodes that didn't matter to anything, completely unimportant. I'm just kidding. Rest in peace, fives. Um, but yeah, it, it was a story left unfinished, and man, the Clone Wars was such a good TV show. I honestly, even though even though it had stupid episodes like where C-3PO was the main character of the episode, it was still good. It was still such a good show. So many cool scenes like where uh, Darth Maul comes back to life from being insane on whatever that trash planet he was on, and then going after Obi-Wan and doing all the the whole Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul all over again kind of story arc. Yeah, and you can see my hair get in the way there. That's fun. My head gets really close to the paper when I'm doing really detailed work, so I did my best to crop myself out, but You know, not everything's perfect. And now you can't even see what I'm drawing. All right. Like I've said in the past, you want to turn the paper as frequently as you need to get the best angle for whatever you're drawing. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And sometimes it just turns right out of frame. So, um, yeah, this drawing was tough, not easy. Don't like drawing hands, but that hand turned out pretty good. The whole I don't know what that's called that he does, but he does it to General Grievous. And man, he looks good doing it. Like it's one of those things where you're like, wow, that's kind of weird. I don't, what's he up to? What's he doing? It's like a challenge. It's like you, me, ooh, we gonna, you're going down, son. Hardcore. Obi-Wan, man, what a cool dude. Everyone, I, my, my, uh, my coworkers and I were talking one day, and we were like, who is the best Jedi? And we brought up some we were like, is it Yoda? Nah. I mean, Yoda's obviously the most, he's a pretty powerful Jedi. Is it Luke? Nah, he's too whiny. And then the sequels made him look like an idiot, so it's probably not Luke. Is it Anakin? Well, he obviously turned to the dark side, which, if we're voting him for best Jedi, is probably a disqualifier. And we talked about some other ones that nobody knows about. We were like, is it Yarrow Poof? Is it Kit Fisto? Is it Mace Windu? It might be Mace Windu. No, Plo Koon. Oh, I, I think Plo Koon's a pretty good Jedi, but we all ultimately agreed on Obi-Wan because one, he's got a sense of humor which almost none of the Jedi have. Two, he put up with Anakin's shenanigans. Whoa, that rhymed! Oh my gosh, Anakin's shenanigans? Dude, that was so funny. Oh man. Um, he put up with Anakin's garbage for a super long time and defeated a bunch of Sith along the way, you know. Uh, he lost his love interest, Satine. If you've never watched the Clone Wars, you have no idea what I'm talking about. And he handled that like a champ, you know. Um, he's and you know he lived in exile for some 20 years, didn't complain, probably. And then you know what? He sacrificed himself to save the original trilogy. So we give props to Obi-Wan. He's definitely the best Jedi. Definitely. Mm, it's honestly such a pleasure to draw him. It's an honor, really. So let's talk about this. So we're drawing the belt, and the belt's really dark, and it's got like some little doodads on it. And so we're using brown and black and a little bit of red, just every once in a while. And there's a little strap. You can see that little white space that kind of comes across it. And we're just going to shade around it, give it some shadow underneath, and then we're going to go lightly over the top. And there's a strap going through it that you can see too. It's amazing the amount of shadow and detail you can get with colored pencil. It's very subtle, but you can see that little strap right there. And there's also that little metal doodad at the front that I just left completely white, uh, just kind of colored around it. And there's this little satchel packet thing. I don't know what it is on his belt. He's got lots of little trinkets. I don't know what they are. I wish I did. That should be that should be a that just rose up in my Star Wars questions list. Like what's in Obi-Wan's utility belt? Oh, so anyway, we skipped ahead a little bit. Because the bottom of his robes is the same technique we used on the sleeves. So we're just gonna I just cut that bit out because it's not really important. And I'm sure you were the watching the sleeve drawing portion was super riveting. So I'm sure you guys were super excited to watch that again. But I apologize. We're just gonna skip to more exciting stuff for now. Um, the boots are brown and a color that's kind of like a maroon. And those are the two colors we're blending together to kind of give it that copper sheen that you can see. And we're also mixing white, red, and a little bit of orange in as well to kind of change the colors to change to kind of give it different effects of how the light is reflecting off of the leather of the boots. And we're about to color out a frame again, which is awesome. Like I said, I've never done a drawing this big, so I had to mess with my setup a little bit just to give it big enough uh, so I could accommodate it, but you still can't see what's going on. There I go. Ah, good, we moved the paper. So you can see down by his ankle, the boot kind of gets wrinkly. There are also those three little stripy things at the top, like little ripples in the boot. They're pretty cool. So you just leave those white, and then we come over with a light layer over the top because the rest is burnished, but and so going over the top of it with a little bit of brown doesn't affect it very much, but it colors in that little white space just to so it doesn't so it's not pure white, so it doesn't stand out as much because we want it to just stand out a little bit. And now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other boot, uh, which is pretty rad. His boots, man. I mean, this guy knows how to dress. I mean, some of the other Jedi look like chumps. I mean, Anakin does not look good in black. You know, I don't even know why they would let him wear black. I mean, it's like he was already dressing like Darth Vader when he was a Jedi. I'm like, that would have set off some red flags in my mind if I was on the Jedi Council. Like, this guy kind of dresses like a goth kid. I don't know why we let him wear those black robes. Everyone else wears the white ones. I don't know. But what did the Jedi Council know? They didn't know anything. Freaking idiots. Got everyone killed. It had to happen, I guess. Otherwise, the original trilogy wouldn't. But yeah, his boots are popping. I mean, he looks good. Like, I mean, some people know how to dress in the Star Wars universe. Like Padme, uh, Sheev wears some pretty sexy outfits. Um, old old Palpatine. Oh gosh, I saw that they're bringing him back in the Rise of Skywalker trailer with his little cackle. Yeesh, how desperate are they? Poor saps. Poor J.J. Abrams. I really feel for the dude because Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson have ruined that trilogy. I mean, they're pandering to a certain audience, and it just nobody liked it. They all of the little things that they said in the movie to try and make it sound like oh, war is bad. There's only one business in the galaxy that gets you this rich, and it's war. And Rose's character was poorly written, and I feel bad for that actress because you get the honor of being in a Star Wars movie, but you get cast in such a bad role. And now we're just on to the last part. Now I need to stop talking about Star Wars and keep talking about the drawing. Um, Last little bit, that little bit of robes underneath his stuff. We're actually using a bit of black on there because it's very much in shadow. And that's basically it. This turned out really good, actually. It's been a long time since I've done a colored pencil drawing. And so I was super excited to see this one turn out. And I'll have some more videos coming out pretty soon. I know we went on a hiatus for a while. I got really busy at work. And so you'll expect to see some more drawings and stuff coming your way soon. Some more marker probably. I won't do another colored pencil for a while just because it's hard and I don't want to do it. So anyway, have a nice day. Uh, Click like if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, all that. Yada, yada, yada. Goodbye.